Good evening, good evening. Look what I found. Cars. Yeah, I stumbled on this. Hey, Baba. I stumbled on this big car cruise. Happens every Monday night here in the waterfront. Got some pretty nice cars here. I have probably missed a bunch because I haven't been walking around as I had to eat something. A lot of Jeeps here. Found a 68 Lincoln, 67 Lincoln before. I think he left. I did get a picture of it though. Buck? What? Just not enough room to park, so they made room. Lots of interesting cars here. I missed a bunch actually. There were 257s that just left that were amazing. I had to eat something, so I got some food from the truck. Tesla. A nice looking Camaro here. Cobra. Is it real or is it a kit car? Most likely. A lot of Fox body Mustangs. Oh, nice. Big block Camaro. Look at this little beauty. It's an old Corolla with a new motor in it. A lot of motor. I bet you this car flies. Holy shit. Freaking big twin cam Toyota engine in there. Deluxe. Is this one of yours? Yours. One. What's the? What year is the engine? The motor? What? That's an older engine too. Oh, okay. Okay. I bet it flies. Car don't weigh nothing. Very nice. Is this thing gorgeous? These are fun cars. If you can find these collectible, man. It is back there. It's a 71. I just asked him. It's actually a 71 engine. I thought it was a newer engine, but I don't know anything about these cars. I bet you this thing flies, though. Toyota Corolla. A 71 Corolla, man.
Wow.
These things are very collectible because they're just not that many around.
I think they all died.
Yeah, like Pinos and Vegas. They're a Fairmount. I ran into a guy in a little town the other day. He's got a 84 Fairmount. Or an 80 Fairmount. I'm like, really? He says, yes, original. It's 8,000 miles.
I'm not sure I even know what car that is. That's
Ford. Yeah, it was their first like world body car, and it was a failure. You know, we owned one, and it was a horrible car. You know,
they were in the 80s.
he had a six. You know, it's a 6-cylinder with bucket seats. You know, it's a crummy shitbox car. You know, but he owns it, and it's got original. It's all original. 8,000 miles. This thing's cute. That needs a small block Chevy in it. Then there's a car then.
Yeah, these are from my college days. I remember kids that I knew in college having those Corollas. They cost like, I don't know, $2,500.
Oh yeah, nothing.
Those days.
I mean, I would still love to get an old Datsun or B210 or something like this. Those are fun little car to have, you know.
You're right. Wouldn't that be a blast driving around?
Because most people don't know what the heck is that,
yeah,
you know.
Right.
It's like I have an old Kawasaki 500, and there's no names on it. They've all been removed. And if I could ever get it running again, take it to some shows, people are like, "What the hell is that?" Nobody's ever seen an H1 Kawasaki much. They're out there, but they're rare.
Yeah.
This is a nice car cruise I stumbled on. This would almost be worth coming back for on a Monday night. I'm from Cleveland.
You know what? Often they're very, very good.
Yeah.
There are times when cars show up that you want to say, wow.
Well, I caught a 67 Lincoln before, which is the same color of what the one I had.
That cream one?
Yeah, we had the 68.
Yeah.
And I talked to the guy. He's got a chrome shop in town here.
Oh,
He does serious restoration chrome work.
Yeah,
Bob Orr. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? He works on cars.
Oh, he was telling me these Arab cars, these guys from Denmark and Finland.
Yep. He's a player, that guy. He has Duesenbergs in his shop.
Yeah.
Things like that. Wow.
I'm glad I met him because if I ever know somebody who needs a good chrome guy, you know, you'll go anywhere for that kind of work. You know.
Yeah.
He was telling me about these caddies they ship over to the Middle East.
Yeah.
Well, when you get to be good and you get a rep,
right? And that's what goes on with him. You're right. He's really, really good. And he can get, as I understand it, actually a good friend of mine sort of hangs there.
I should contact him. I have a bumper for a Lincoln.
Is that right?
Yeah, I have a bumper. I have a couple things in I have hubcaps too. I need to contact him. Yeah.
He can also get if you had a 1902 Sliver or something.
Right.
He could get it running. That's the other thing about him is people bring in things that they found in a garage somewhere and
right.
they know it's something.
Says he's got a resto shop.
He can make it happen.
I
Yeah,
need
you
to check his
discovered a
shop
really
out
good
someday.
guy. Yeah.
I need to check it
Kind
on
of
the
way
east
over
side.
that way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's on the wrong side of Cleveland
Right.
from
Well, as I say when I'm in Cleveland, I'm live streaming. I say I'm on the best side, the west side.
the west side.
Well, because there's diners that are open 24 hours.
All right.
And I eat all my meals out. And I would just slit my throat if I lived on the east side because there's no diners
Is that right?
for miles and miles and miles, you know. You have to go farther east, you hit a Denny's. I don't eat a Denny's, you know.
No, that's not a diner.
No, we have some good restaurants on the west side that are open 24 hours. 6 of them, I think. You know, it's like we're lucky because I travel a lot now doing these weird deliveries I'm doing. Most cities don't have anything. And they're pretty big cities. I mean, like here, Erie's not small. You know, Birmingham, Alabama, nothing.
You mean for 24 hours?
Yeah,
kind of
Nashville didn't even have anything.
Okay.
Well, that's part of COVID, though. In downtown, they have a diner. It's called The Diner, and it's 6 stories. But it's closed at nights now because of help and in the lack of business right now. The lack of business, things are starting to come back. But yeah, and Nashville's not a small town. That's 700,000 people. You know? No 24-hour restaurants. Cleveland, we've been lucky. We've always had these 24-hour restaurants.
Well, Cleveland's a good
But
town.
I like this waterfront. This is amazing.
Yeah,
You just
yeah,
need.
it is.
My thing is, you just need housing down here. You need some like neighborhoods. There's enough land to have some things happening. You know. The guy was saying about the new houses up there, but they're kind of disconnected from down here. You know?
Yeah, and that was also, yes, they are because of the Bayfront
Right.
Highway here.
We have the same thing in Cleveland. We have our lakefront highway, which is called the Shoreway, and it separates the bluff area, just like Erie, from down here. And we've got, but your waterfront, you've made it very accessible versus ours. Ours is, we don't have any. We have little bits, but it's just the way the city's developed, you know. I made a delivery last night up here from Pittsburgh to the east side, and then I shouldn't have stopped at the casino, but I did. I'd never been there, so I check it out once.
It's a learning experience.
Oh yeah, and you keep learning and learning.
That's right. You keep learning and learning and learning the same lesson.
But a couple restaurants look really nice. If they were open, I would definitely maybe check the
in the casino. Yeah, the one that's right in the casino, whatever they're calling it now.
that steak joint downstairs.
Yeah, it's a very good restaurant.
But the upstairs one's cool because it's got if it's daylight, it's got a nice view.
Yeah, that's right.
So very nice.
Horse racing, which I'm
not a horse. Yeah, I don't know anything.
I don't know if they're even going to be running this year or what. I don't know.
So I drove around to check it out, learn about it, and then I bought Wendy's just before they closed, and then I passed out. Oh no, I went to watch the sub come in.
Yeah, did you hear it had an accident?
Oh yeah. So in Cleveland,
There's a sub here?
yeah, it's in the dry dock at John. So we have one of, I guess there's one in Buffalo. The guy was just telling me there's a sub in Buffalo, a World War II sub.
Yeah, there is.
And we have ours.
Yeah,
the USS Cod.
Yeah.
Right. Well, okay. Well, it just got towed here yesterday. First time it's moved anywhere in 50
The
some
Cod
years.
is here?
Yeah.
That's
50 some years.
I took a tour of that just a year ago.
And
it's so cool.
And to get some hull maintenance because it's been sitting in the water for 50.
Yeah.
So they were supposed to bring it up last year, and there was a kerfuffle about the tow company, and it didn't happen. And the new guys, the tug, I don't know if they're from up here. Is the Manitou from up here?
I think it's from here, but I'm not sure.
So anyhow, when they were pulling it out of that tighter area where it's maybe, I mean, you start things in motion on the water, and you can't always just change direction quickly.
Right.
And he's dragging a sub that's a big dead thing, and they rubbed the Coast Guard cutter. They rubbed against it, and the Coast Guard put out a tweet later in the afternoon saying, "We had a little incident where the cod being towed away they used a nautical term, allied, A-L-L-I-D-E, not collide, allied." And I found a good definition on a lawyer's page on Google. Allighting is a collision between a moving vessel and a fixed vessel. Parked, not a collision.
Yeah, they called it an collision in the newspaper.
Right. That was the other. There's the other versions of the word are elision, allied, and I meant to try to look up. I started trying to look up the iteration of the word. I'm always curious about really different words, but I found a really good definition of the. And this guy does nautical, must do nautical law, and deals with boating accidents and stuff, And he's got a really good page up about this. And it's like, okay, I understand it a little better now. So yeah, so here I don't have great pictures because I missed. They brought it in at night, and who's messaging me? That was me. Oh, that was my sandwich. I had to eat. I was starving, so I got his cheesesteak. It was okay, and it got me fueled. But I missed walking around because I was so hungry. Yeah. And a little bit, he's a good line there. Twitter. That thing's got a 427 in it.
No, I didn't go over there yet.
Where am I at?
All right.
So I got over to the South Pier parking lot, and there were a lot of people there. I'm like, is this normal, or is this all fishers? There's a lot of people there to watch this.
Yeah.
And I missed it almost because I was in my car, and I was watching Marine Traffic, the website, the app, and it was 2 miles off. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, I hear people cheering, and I see lights moving fast. I go, wow! I go running up there, and I got a big flashlight. You can see the beam here. I lit it up. And then I've got where there's some photos and video links. If you wanted to go to my Twitter page, Shocking Guys, pretty easy to remember.
All right, Shocking
One
Guy.
word, 2 G's.
Gotcha.
I'm an electrician. So that's my handle. It's been good because, hey, Jack. Sorry, I'm talking with some guys here. I'm at this car cruise in Erie, PA that I stumbled into, and some pretty nice cars here. Thank you, Jack. And I would come back for this on a Monday.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
this is
you should okay, look at that. The red one. What is that?
Oh.
Ferrari or something?
Right.
I mean, that's what goes on here. You were going to see some.
I saw a lot of interesting stuff, and I didn't see any everybody's got something they can have fun with. But I didn't see a lot of just barely working vehicles that came out. You know what I mean? A lot of nice stuff.
No, that exactly.
And
some of them really.
I used to be a car guy, and I had a bunch of Mopars, and I still got friends that are major car people in the Cleveland area.
Yeah, on any given non-rainy
Monday night.
Yes, because they don't show up in the rain. You can imagine.
And there's a nice Duster, maybe.
Yeah.
It's muted, but it might have some horsepower.
Yeah, it might have a 340 in it.
And I had a 65 Coronet with a 426 wedge, 70 Plymouth GTX. I owned a lot of cars back in the day.
GTX, no kidding.
I missed it. Yep. Had a 67 RT, Coronet 500 RT with a 4. That was the same color as ours. Ours was a 68. And I need to get a hold of him because I have a bumper. He might be the right guy for that to buy it,
right
or he'll find somebody.
Yeah.
I don't need it. It's just a spare part. It was parts that my buddy.
Lincoln, did you say?
68 Lincoln, I think, 67 Lincoln. I have the hubcaps from that car. That was my buddy's car. I forget how I ended up with it. I don't remember. That's a lot of years ago.
Yeah.
But a good hunk of metal is worth anything to a guy who's fixing something, as long as it's
right.
not rusted.
You are totally right.
It'll get repaired.
Or deals with those guys.
I mean, this Cobra kit. I'm sure it's a kit. Maybe not. Is that a kit? You think the Cobra?
Oh well. Hard to say.
The real ones are.
Yeah.
A lot of money. I mean, you're talking.
They never are real, right? You see a lot of those.
There's at least 3 of those around town.
Yeah.
One of them's a repro.
Right. I mean, if it's a real one, that's $300 300 and up. You
Oh
know,
yeah, $1 million sometimes.
yeah,
they are.
yeah.
I mean, you can get them for seven.
Crazy money, 7 figures. Yeah, yeah,
7 figures.
yeah, crazy money. Yeah, this is because it's an easy drive up here. It's an hour and a half.
You're right.
You know,
It is an easy drive.
and
From the west side.
so yeah, when I went to so so I got those two pictures. Then I raced over to the behind the bus station there with it, and they pulled it in alongside down there and docked it. And a bunch of people went over there, and I got some video. There's a minute and a half clip on my Twitter,
Shocking guy.
and then I have my live feed that I did. The link is on there too. That I did down there.
How long is it going to be there?
I heard 8 weeks, and then one guy told me you need to pay attention or find out, but they said when they were done with it, they were going to open it up here for some tours.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be very rare, cool event. So I'm going to have to pay attention because like I was down in East Liverpool or somewhere yesterday morning when 10 o'clock or whatever, Fox 8 come live on Facebook. I go, what are they doing live? So I touched on it. They were down there when it was pulling out, and immediately called my buddy because he's into these things, and he says, "Oh, we're here. They heard the elision, they heard the scraping, you know.
That's a good one.
But yeah, it's interesting. The Coast Guard put out a tweet about it, But
it didn't cause the cod much damage. I wouldn't.
I don't think it caused either of them too much. But
Such mass, though, you can imagine that there's still something happening
there. Oh yeah, at least there's definitely been paint traded.
Yeah.
I'm Daniel, by the way. JD.
Scott.
Yeah, this would be worth. I've been here now twice, and I live streamed Wire Electricians called Sparky because we're electrifying. Shocking. And I needed a screen name on some electricians forum, and to ask a question, and I had to register. So I'm like, everybody's got these cool names. I was never called Sparky. I was called Fire Dan because I did commercial fire alarms a lot, but that was not like a universal term everywhere I went. I was just Dan the Man a lot, but I because I used to do too many things, but
sounds like you've been here and there.
Too many things, and so I'm ashamed I didn't walk around this more when I got here. I was just tired and hungry, and I smelled food. I'm like, I need nutrition, But this is worth coming up here to. Definitely. I mean, we have some cruises in Cleveland, and we're a big car city, but this is a heck of a cruise.
Yeah.
And the setting is so nice.
Yeah. You should really make it a point because I have a friend from Austin, and he came up here a couple of years ago to visit me, and Austin, hip town, everybody loves it. I was blown away. They have nothing like this.
They don't have meets like that, really?
Not like this. Because I'll tell you, there's 300 cars here, and they're really good cars.
Right, yeah. We have some big meets in Cleveland, but I don't know that they're as good as this.
Well, and the thing is, this is regular.
This is every week during the summer.
Every Monday.
Right. And I got lucky because I pay attention. I look at stuff, I don't just drive. So like today, I was down there. Then I came over to this side. They already moved it inside. It was like 10:30. I'm like, no daylight photo. So then I drove around up in the city, and I was tired again. I've been driving so much. I've been in Birmingham, Alabama, Darlington. I've been all over hell in the last week doing these deliveries. And off of 11th, all those factories, the parking lots behind them.
Yeah.
I found a big empty parking lot, pulled under a tree in the shade, and went to sleep. Nice quiet spot. I slept in that South Street pier last night. All I heard all night, beep, beep, beep. The front loader for the stone dock. All night long. Beep, beep, backing up,
Are you in a tractor trailer?
No, in my car. I do these weird little medical deliveries. My first one I ever did for them was to Erie, the east side. It was a swap out a dialysis machine. And then I picked it up and then drove straight across through town from whatever street that would have been, maybe
12th Street.
probably 12th, I think, and took it. I needed to take it to a UPS store. I had a label already made up to send the old one back, and that was on Peach, which I now understand is a big drag, goes up to the highway,
Right.
And then I drove around the city for 3 hours live streaming, learning. I learned that I knew nothing about Erie. I don't know what my conception was, but it wasn't
What you saw, huh?
what I thought, because the only thing I'd ever done here was go to Presque Isle like once or twice decades ago, but I'd never been in the city. So I do this all the time.
Yeah. Which, and you get the idea that what you see across the bay here, like if you look right over there, that green.
Oh yeah, it's all Presque Isle. Right. Oh yeah, it's huge.
It's running all the way
It's
out
5
from
miles.
over
Yeah, it's
there.
crazy how long it is.
I didn't want to get in your.
Oh, you're fine. You can get in there if you want to be famous. Get in there.
That's the only part of me I want famous.
Okay. So yeah, I drove a bunch of neighborhoods. I drove around downtown. I got to see a little what the east side was coming in. Then I spent a bunch of time down here, but I never hit the South Pier area. I never went past whatever down there,
Yeah.
like Third or something, whatever that the last street that comes down. I never went that way, so I didn't see that area. I did all this, then I went up this way into the frontier. I'm like, holy crap, $1 million neighborhoods up here, and we've Cleveland. We got a lot of neighborhoods like that, lots of old money. I'm like, I never realized Erie had. I mean, every city has wealthy neighborhoods. That's a big wealthy neighborhood that goes on for a long way.
Yeah. We're just a miniaturized version of Cleveland in some ways.
In some ways, yeah. I mean, and I'm like, I was really impressed with the streets, just how it was laid out with the big medians in them, and it's like,
It's frontier, all right.
And I drove around real slow, and people, I forget what day it was. People were out with their kids just walking in the streets, it's so off the beaten path, and I get it. It's their little world, they're very lucky to live back there, and I saw that big gated community that's up there. That was a new thing that's just been built up the road here.
Yeah.
I was like, I saw that, and when I was around on the other side, I like, oh, there's those houses. Yeah.
Well, a major hospital, UPMC,
Right.
is right over there, and those are a lot of our dogs.
Right. And what's building that's up in there? That little office type building that's like Lucom or something. Do you know what I mean?
Lecom.
Yeah. What is Lecom? It's a.
Lake Erie College of Medicine.
That's right. It's a medical school. Right.
It's DL.
Right.
They also have a hospital.
Right. I did finally look it up because I heard on the one radio station had a lot of sponsorship from them. I think.
Throw a lot of money.
88.5.
Yeah. And so it's like, and then that big apartment building that's back there, or condo building right next to it, right on the water. That's like a gated.
So you were
community.
down, yeah. I know where you're talking about.
All over. I mean, I get around. I learn quick.
You were right by the tennis courts and Erie Day School. Did you see that? Which is right where you went down to see that, where Lecom is down there, which is just their offices.
Right. Oh, that's the office. Okay, I wondered what it was because, but I drove all around. I mean, it was dead. It was a Sunday or I forget what day. It was. I just, if nobody tells me not to drive down a road, I'll do it. I was bad in Pittsburgh. I drove down a trail actually. It's like it's used as a road. It's so where the airport is, and that'd be 376 on the south side. I was coming in from, from the left over here, and this side road I was on, I saw a sign. It said FAA Regional, the Firefighter Rescue Training Facility, ARFF. I always forget what that stands for. Anyhow, Airline Rescue Firefighters, okay? And it said ARFF Training Facility. I'm like, that's okay. So I drove down this road. It's houses. Then there's some signs and a gate. Gate's open, and it says not really to go, I guess, but it's a road.
Not really to go, but you went.
There's nobody around. It was real. I mean, I didn't run in. And so this is called Montour Trail. You know the name or whatever?
Well, I know Montour is one of the
areas over there?
Area,
okay.
Yeah.
So it's a trail, but it's a road. It's 3 miles long from there to the next gate, where that gate was closed. And about halfway, there's a tunnel under the highway. And I didn't go on Google to look. They must have their training facility back tucked in there. And it's funny because it's so remote. This stretch it goes through, it's really a remote area. Every half mile, there's signs. Says if you have an emergency, call 911 and tell them you are at sign J or A, so they know where you're at. You know, I've only seen that a few times, like out west. You know, because if they wouldn't know if you had some sort of problem out there as a hiker or a biker or some bicyclist, you know, they'd know where to come find you. Because it's that whole. If you go look at that, it's real remote. I didn't go on Google to see if it was ever driven by a Street View car. A lot of streets aren't driven by Street View cars. But yeah, it was pretty funny to just check it out. It's like, okay, a little detour. But you learn a lot if you don't get in trouble. It's like, I didn't see the sign. You know, it was raining.
What's anybody gonna do? They're just gonna say leave.
Well,
right? Unless it's
here, the other side of Cargo, the other road that goes back in to the Stone Dock. This side of the Cargo Road.
Okay.
There's a road that goes back to the other side of the Stone Dock. And halfway back, it says, don't go beyond this. And it was raining hard. I would have just said, I didn't see it, you know, because it's a road. It just goes to another gate to the Stone Dock further in. But they've got cameras on poles every so often. But the other thing is, when I was sitting there yesterday morning when I got up, or was it this morning, today, I pulled into the Stone Dock office there off of South Pier for a second to mess with my phones. And all of a sudden, I see this car beep at me, and I look. It's a pilot car, you know, for big loads. There were two of them, and I look around, and he's like motioning me to move because of where I was parked. Coming out of the Stone Dock is a damn windmill blade. They got a stack of them down there.
Right. Gigantic thing, no doubt.
290 feet long. They got a stack of them down there.
I didn't know that. 290 feet.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, 2 pilot vehicles and then a rear pilot vehicle. He might actually be controlling the rear dollies, so it can they can crab, you know. So I followed him up. What's the road they call the Bayshore Connector?
Yeah.
I followed it all the way up to 90, and he got on 90 East. So I got out on the bridge and filmed it as it went around the loop to get on. But then I went back there, and I drove back in that road, and just over the weeds, you can see the big crane there, big red crane, and you can see a stack of these things.
Well, you know, that's interesting.
So I don't know where the wind farm is. I never got a chance to ask anybody.
Buffalo has around here we don't have one, but Buffalo has a growing one on their waterfront. I wonder if that's where they're heading. Big white things, right? They're white.
Gray white color, yeah. And then when I was leaving, there was a second one coming out. So they were running a shipment, a bunch of them today. They probably run them in groups of 3 as often as they can for each windmill.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of them still stacked there. It's kind of hard to see them. I think on the Cargo Road, if you look back in there, you can see them too. You'll see a large circle, and you might see the shape of them, you know, the mounting end, the circle.
I'd like to see that.
But if you go to my live stream on Twitter, you can find it on. So here.
What is it that you're doing anyway?
I just live stream. I show everywhere I go. I drive, and I've built an audience.
Shocking Guy. And what's your live stream? That's not Shocking Guy?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So this is the app I'm using now. It's called Haps. It's okay. It's got its issues. I was on Periscope for 6 years here, which Twitter owns, but they've shut it down. But this allows me to multicast. So you can find me on my YouTube channel, Shocking Guy.
Make any money on it?
A little bit, you know. But I have fun, you know.
Oh yeah, Shocking Guy.
You know, but you can find me on YouTube. You can replay them there, Twitter. You can even go to Periscope and find them. They're still on Periscope. It loads them to Periscope, but I can't broadcast from Periscope. Twitter has kept Periscope as an archive. and it was a good platform. It's a shame. It's a shame that it got cars lighting up here. That they killed it. It was such a functional platform. Uh, this guy is platform. There's another one that's apparently okay. There's a couple new platforms. It's real good. Called is it allows me to multicast, so you can find me on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all these without me having to do that. You know. Yeah, I mean they've already synced up the links. They've if they allowed RTMP code, then you could do your own. You could link anything else up, right? And they have a studio version on. You can do on your browser on Chrome only, where you can do things like post editing. You can do some other stuff after you've already filmed it. You know, I haven't messed with it because I don't have a machine worthy of doing it with. So, but I take people around, show them all this cool stuff that I stumble into, and I do fires and accidents a lot in Cleveland, and I was just in Manhattan 2 weeks ago. I did my first fire in Manhattan, and I could have got paid for that one. I now have a way to do stringer stuff. A guy I follow on here, he's a stringer in New York, and that's how he makes a living. That's all he does is sell video from fires, accidents, things like that. But you got to be at the right place, right time to catch the video. Sometimes they have requests, like around here. Yesterday there were requests in Allegheny County for flash flood warnings. So they do. I've seen that 3 times now in other cities. If there's big rains coming through, they want video of anything that would be like a storm type related thing, and they'll pay for that. But you got to get there. You got to get some video, and upload it.
I gotta go get a picture of this.
Yeah. I always tell people I show them our Cleveland sunsets because you probably get amazing sunsets here too.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Sure, the lake, when you got the lake in front of you.
Yeah, we get fantastic sunsets that light up our downtown buildings.
Oh, that would be.
Because we got pretty nice tall buildings compared to Erie. You don't have anything here.
No, we do not.
So yeah, we get great sunsets and sunrises too. We'll do some good on the buildings in the morning, but sunsets are the bomb.
Yeah, they are. But Scott, you know what? See, you're not going to be able to get down.
That's okay. I can get the tower.
Well,
Mass. There's also on Tuesdays, starting, I don't know, in a couple of weeks on Tuesdays, there's free concerts right down.
Oh, I saw that pavilion. I drove
Yeah.
back there. Yeah.
And that's quite a scene on Tuesdays here.
Tuesday nights?
Yeah, it's called 8 Great Tuesdays, and so there's 8 of them.
Okay. Pay attention.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening this year because of COVID, but sometimes there are some players who come in from out of
Well, like I drove around downtown, I see, there's a lot of construction. It's smaller construction, but there's a lot of stuff being fixed up right now. There's the one theater I saw, they could put a new stage house on.
Yeah.
Warner is...
Real historic theater.
Everybody, sorry I've been ignoring you. But I can't find out information if I don't talk to somebody or share information.
Just walk down here and
Right.
there's the pavilion down there. And it's quite a scene. There's a couple thousand people.
Yeah, I drove back there.
Did you from up there?
Yeah, because like I said, I'll drive every place I can sometimes. Just the quickest way to learn. My legs don't want to walk as much as they used to.
That happens, doesn't it?
My hips mostly, the pain. But yeah, you get some nice. I've got to get all the way out on Presque Isle. I haven't done that ever, all the way to the end.
Yeah, well, it goes in a loop, so it's nice and easy.
It's 14 miles around.
All the way, okay.
Yeah, it's a loop. You just follow it, and you'll get back out to the beginning.
So it's a double road. Yeah, I know it was a double road in the beginning. I wasn't. And I did get out for a little bit over there last time I was here a month ago and walked over to a beach, took a picture, you know, put it up on the web.
It turns into two-way if you go way up on the end.
Okay, okay.
So there's one lane each direction.
But yeah, Cleveland's got a section on the west side near Battery Park, West 70th, above our metro, the big park, the Edgewater Park, the big park on the lakefront. And a lot of new homes and stuff are up there. And they're building more apartments and townhouses up there now. It's become a very trendy neighborhood.
Yeah.
You used to be able to buy a house up in there for $50 grand. Now you can't, you know. Even a beater because people want to develop, you know.
Yeah, I get to Cleveland Heights pretty often.
Oh, yeah?
I have a good friend of mine that lives there. So I've been getting
Are you
more
on
and more
Twitter?
familiar. Well, I'm
Not really.
No.
Okay.
No.
Here. I'll show. I don't want. Hold on. Hey, everybody. I got to shut this down because the battery's going to die. I'll be back in the car when I start driving here in a few minutes. All right. There's your Lake Erie sunset in Erie, Pennsylvania. Everybody. I'll be back in a few minutes. Bye.